Gents, understand that for most guys in their 30s and 40s, your wardrobe has no identity, and I'm gonna show you how to build one. Okay, most men own a lot of clothes, but they have no style. That's not the same thing. Owning clothes is an accumulation. Having style is having a point of view. And right now, your wardrobe probably has none. Today, I'm gonna fix that. Listen, if you walk into the average man's wardrobe, you'll find a graveyard of decisions made by your former self. Trends chased, pieces you've bought on impulse, items that fit a moment that's long gone. Nothing connects, there's no thread, no coherence, no identity. The man who looks great every single day isn't the man with the most clothes. He's the man whose wardrobe has a clear point of view, and every piece in it serves that point of view. So, how do we fix that? 10 principles. How to spot the absence of identity in your wardrobe, how to define what your style actually is, how to audit, edit, and rebuild around a point of view that's actually yours. Most men never do this work. The ones who do look completely different to everyone else in the room, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. So, owning clothes is not the same as having style. Most men confuse the two. They think because their wardrobe is full, they're dressed. They're not, they're stocked. There's a difference between a wardrobe that is stocked and a wardrobe that has style. A wardrobe is clothes you happen to own. A style is a deliberate point of view expressed through clothing. One is an accumulation, the other is identity. Now understand this, a full wardrobe with no identity is the same as a full bookshelf with books you've never read. Volume without meaning. The proof is in how you feel when you open it. A man with a wardrobe full of stuff but no identity opens those doors and feels nothing but decision fatigue. Think about it. I'm sure you've opened up your wardrobe many a time and you've looked at all the pieces that you've got and you just don't know what to wear, what pieces go with what colors go with what, etc. That's what we're talking about here. Nothing speaks, nothing leads. Every option is equal because none of them serve a clear vision. A man with a wardrobe built around an identity opens those doors and feels clarity. He knows what works, he knows what he's reaching for. Every piece is already pre-decided. That's the real difference. One wardrobe drains you, the other one runs itself. So what you need to do is you need to understand that for most of you men, your wardrobe is a graveyard, okay? What's actually in your wardrobe? You need to open it, you need to look at what's there, and you'll find layers. First layer is the trend that you probably chased 2 years ago, the brand phase that you might have went through, the pieces you bought for events you'll never ever repeat, the stuff your ex liked, the clothes from the vision of you or the version of you that worked at a different job, lived in a different city, dated different people. None of it is wrong on its own, but it doesn't belong together. It's a graveyard, not a wardrobe. And here's why this matters. Every one of those pieces was bought for a reason that made sense at the time. The streetwear phase made sense when you were 26 and wanted to fit in with a certain crowd. The corporate shirts made sense when you were trying to climb the ladder at a job you've since left. That super slim fit suit for your mate's wedding made sense for one Saturday in 2019. None of that was a mistake when you bought it, but it's not who you are now. The problem isn't that the pieces exist. The problem is they are all still living together as if they belong to the same man. They don't. You're living with a wardrobe that's built from fragments of 5 different people who you used to be. Okay, so what do we do? There's a coherence test. Here's how to spot the problem. Pick any 3 pieces from your wardrobe at random. Do they work together? Could they be worn with the same outfit? Could they be worn in the same week without looking like a completely different person each time? A wardrobe with identity passes this test instantly. A wardrobe without one fails on the first try. Practically, you could try this with a mate. Get them to pull 3 random pieces from your wardrobe. If you have to explain why each one is there, that's a problem. That's the absence of identity made visible. A man with real style doesn't need to explain his pieces. They explain themselves. You should be able to walk a stranger through your wardrobe and they should be able to describe you in 1 sentence. By the time they reach the end, if they can't, you don't have a wardrobe. You have an inventory. Coherence isn't about everything being the same. It's about everything being recognizably from the same man. Meaning that your wardrobe should demonstrate who you are as a man straight away. And someone looking at that and looking at you should go, okay, this all makes complete sense. So, what style actually is? Style isn't a list of items, it's a filter. It's the answer to one question. What does the man I want to be wear? And what does he refuse to wear? That's an important point. Until you can answer that, you don't have style, you simply have a pile of clothes. Emphasis on the point of what the man that you want to be like or dress like, what he doesn't wear. You really need to knuckle down on that. Now, the reason why this matters is because style, as I just mentioned before, is mostly a no. not a yes. A man with no style says yes to everything that looks decent. He drifts, he follows, he picks up whatever's in front of him. But a man with style, however, he's trained himself to say no ruthlessly to anything that doesn't fit, to anything that doesn't go with his wardrobe, color combinations, etc. That's the whole game. It's not about chasing the best pieces, it's about refusing the wrong ones. The next time you're about to buy something, the question isn't, do I like this? The question is, does this fit the man I'm building? If the answer isn't an immediate yes, the answer is no. Most men have never trained themselves to ask that question. Once you do, the wardrobe builds itself. So there are 3 key decisions that define a style. You need to make 3 decisions and only 3 to start building a wardrobe with identity. 1 is your color palette. I've spoken about this in a previous video. Your color palette is about the colors that match your skin tone, your hair tone, your eye color, etc. Certain color tones can wear certain colors, or certain skin tones and facial feature tones, etc. can wear certain colors. Others cannot. You need to be clear on this. I've got a tool, it's linked below. It'll help you with that. These colors you will wear or you won't. The other part is your silhouette, the shape your clothes take on your body. Are they tailored or are they relaxed? Are they sharp or are they soft? And then 3 is the texture world: wool, cotton, leather, or technical synthetic and polished. Once these 3 are decided, every shopping decision becomes a yes or a no, not a maybe. The decisions before you shop are the ones that build your wardrobe identity. Let me give you some real examples. The Tom Ford man. The Tom Ford man's palette is dark, navy, black, charcoal, and oxblood. His silhouette is structured, high gorge, defined waist, sharp shoulder. Texture is polished, smooth wool, fine cotton, leather. Every piece he owns fits inside those 3 decisions. The Italian industrialist, whose palette is warm, navy, charcoal, camel, and olive, his silhouette is soft. The Neapolitan shoulder, natural drape, texture is tactile, brushed wool, linen, suede. Those are the same 3 categories, different decisions, 2 completely different identities, both coherent, both unmistakable. Your style isn't going to look like either of those exactly, but the framework is the same. Decide your 3, write them down, and use them as the filter every single time. The men who do this look like themselves. The men who don't, they look like everyone else. So, the audit. Sort what you have. Once you've decided what your style is, you need to pull everything out into 3 piles. Pile 1, this fits the man I'm becoming and the style I've decided on. Pile 2, this is neutral, useful, doesn't fight the identity, but doesn't make it either. And certainly pile 3, this belongs to a past version of me and contradicts where I'm going. Pretty straightforward. Pile 1 stays, pile 2 stays for now, pile 3 goes. This isn't about throwing things away for the sake of it. It's about clearing the static so the identity can actually emerge. Now, most men will resist the audit because they're attached to the pieces themselves, not what those pieces do for the man they're becoming. The expensive jacket you bought 5 years ago that doesn't fit your current identity is still expensive, but it's not yours anymore. It belongs to the version of you that bought it then. Keeping it doesn't honor the money that you spent. It just clogs the wardrobe and makes it harder to see what actually serves you now. Give it away, sell it, bin it if you have to. The sunk cost is gone either way. What you're protecting by holding onto it is the past, not the future. A wardrobe with an identity is built from what you choose to keep with intention, not what you've passively accumulated and refuse to let go. Okay, so another practical point once you've done the audit is, how do we build from here? You build around a uniform. If you look at every man with a strong style, he has a uniform. Not the same outfit every day, but a recognizable formula, a silhouette, a palette, a signature. Steve Jobs, he was the black turtleneck and jeans. Tom Ford, the dark suit and the open shirt collar. Agnelli, the soft jacket and casual rebellion. Yours doesn't need to be that extreme. It needs to be a formula you can apply across professional, casual, and occasional contexts. Repeatable doesn't mean boring. Repeatable means recognizable, and recognizable is the foundation of style. You want people to walk in and recognize the type of man you are as soon as they see you, which is predicated by the style that you're in. And a uniform is just a system. It removes decision fatigue. It accelerates the morning and it builds a visual consistency over time. People start to associate you with a look. That association is the brand of you. The brand is built by repetition, not by variety. Think about it. If you saw the same friend in a wildly different outfit every single day, you'd struggle to picture him. If you saw him in a recognizable formula, dark trousers, a considered knit, leather shoes, you could close your eyes right now and you could see him. That visibility is the goal. Your uniform doesn't need to be one outfit. It needs to be a clear visual signature across everything that you wear. Same silhouette family, same palette family, same texture family, different combinations of the same building blocks. That's how identity becomes something other than what people can actually see. So once you've built built around a uniform. You need to edit brutally, edit and cut brutally, and don't add constantly. The men with the strongest wardrobes are the ones who edit the hardest. They don't keep adding new pieces hoping to find their style. They edit out the ones that don't fit until only the ones that do remain. You don't build identity by buying more. You build it by being willing to remove what contradicts the version of who you're becoming. Now, most men do the opposite. They keep adding, hoping one of the new pieces will somehow tie the chaos together. It won't. Identity comes from the subtraction, not addition. The fashion industry has spent decades training you to think more is the answer. New season, new drop, new trend, new piece. The whole machine runs on the idea that what you already have is incomplete, and the next purchase is what completes it. That's a lie. The next purchase makes it worse. Every new piece that doesn't fit your identity adds noise. It dilutes the signal. It buries the pieces that actually work under a pile of pieces that don't. The men who look the sharpest aren't the ones with the most clothes. They're the ones with the fewest contradictions. Less, but not right. Not more, hoping. Once you start editing instead of accumulating, you'll find that you stop wanting most of the things that the industry tries to sell you. That's the point, and that's freedom. Now, once you've done all that and you're starting to build your identity, you're starting to build your style, you want your style to inspire you, and it should stop the room. Most style content gets this part wrong. They tell you your wardrobe should be boring to you, predictable, easy. That's not it. That's the minimalist trap. That's how you end up with a wardrobe of beige basics that bore everyone, including the man wearing them. The real principle is different. Your wardrobe should inspire you. You should get a charge from putting on your clothes. You should walk to the mirror and feel something, not vanity, recognition. The recognition that the man looking back is finally aligned with who he is. And then because that alignment is real, the room responds. People look, heads turn, men assess you, women notice you. Not because you're performing for them, but because alignment is rare and the room can feel it instantly. Think about it. When you actually put together a serious outfit that is in line with the man you're becoming and the style that you want to portray, when you walk into a room, people notice. You notice the women looking at you. You notice the other men checking you out. You notice people pay the respect that's deserved. The man whose clothes match his identity, he walks differently. He occupies space differently. The clothes haven't done that. The clothes have just stopped getting in the way of that. The men who look incredible every day, they aren't bored. They're dialed in. They've spent years building a style that genuinely excites them to wear. And the consistency of that excitement is what creates the visual signature other people respond to. Boring is the failure mode. And a man who thinks restraint means absence, real style is restraint with conviction. Considered, chosen, owned. You should be excited every time you put it on, and the room should know it the second you walk in. That's the actual goal. So, your permission, decide and commit. Most men never build a real wardrobe identity because they're waiting for it to merge on its own. Newsflash, it won't. Identity in a wardrobe is built the same way identity in life is built, by making decisions and committing to them. Decide your palette, decide your silhouette, decide your textures, edit out what fights those decisions, build around what supports them. I've built a couple of tools to help you with that. They're below in the links. The palette tool, palette authority tool, gives you which colors work on the man you actually are. The tailor brief gets your silhouette right. The rest is on you. Decide, commit, the wardrobe will follow. And look, here's the truth that no one's gonna actually tell you. Most men are not going to do this work. They're going to keep buying, keep accumulating, keep adding pieces to a wardrobe that has no center. They'll keep wondering why they don't look like the way they want to look, and they'll keep blaming budget or genetics or age. The men who actually take the time to decide who they are, write it down, and rebuild their wardrobe around that decision are a tiny minority. Now, that minority is the men who walk into rooms and look like they've arrived. It's not money, it's not talent, it's a decision made and committed to. Make it today, decide your 3 categories, edit ruthlessly over the next month, build slowly from there. In 6 months, you'll be the man other men in the room are quietly wondering about, and you'll be the man that women want to get to know. So that's it, gents. Get some.